One thing I love about Satisfactory is, surprisingly enough, the movement. Once you've got your equipment together, you can run and jump and move between platforms that very quickly map out an internal geography in your mind. This layout may make almost no sense to anyone else, but it makes a lot of sense to me. And sure, you'll eventually have the jetpack, and before that you'll have the blade runners, which will let you run and jump and fall and take less fall damage, and that's all great, and you can jump from machine to machine. But before that, how do you get around? How do you explore? Surely you don't want to wait until tier 3 or 4 or 5 to unlock the ability to wander around the countryside, to get to high places and see what's there. And that's what I'm going to go into today. For this, you will need one very simple thing. You don't need blade runners, you don't need a jetpack. What you need is concrete. You want to have a couple of stacks of concrete. So if I go here, I can just make sure I've got that. There we go, got like 400 concrete. This is of course easier with the blade runners, but not necessary. And then let's go somewhere tall. Okay, so let's say we wanted to make our way up this nice tall cliff. Something that, sure, I mean, we can look around and we can try and make some progress by, even without a jetpack, just by going around and looking for paths where the game will let us go up, but that'll only work so much. Eventually you'll hit a sheer cliff. And that is where concrete foundations come in. You can jump higher than a 2-meter foundation, even without any gear. So you can deploy this. And then you can just keep going. It doesn't work as reliably as I'd like. You can indeed have problems with the player being in the way. Whoops. But eventually you can get up there if I have the right thing selected. You want to point down, you want to be towards the center of the platform, and you've got a very narrow window, but it's there. And, you know, normally, I don't know why today it seems to be not working very well. And then you can use this to get up. And so, yeah, this works. It isn't exactly pretty, but it works quite well for getting up and down places. And so what, you say? This concept has been around since Minecraft. The thing to remember here is, unlike Minecraft, you can use this on, you can clean up after yourself, right? So you can very easily, your collection range is way bigger than in Minecraft. So you can very easily clean up after yourself, you can adjust where you're moving to, you can just build up and up and up. And obviously, this is a bit of a pain, but it's possible before you get blade runners. Once you do have blade runners, it's much simpler because you jump nearly twice the height, so you can much more reliably get this done. And then you can easily ascend any surface, and you don't need to have a huge amount of concrete on you, because you can stop periodically and remove what you've done, reclaiming all of the materials, because as I mentioned in my very first Satisfactory tip, all construction and all destruction in Satisfactory is lossless. You get back everything you put in place, and that allows you to get to places that you otherwise can't get. And eventually you'll get the jetpack. That's great. But even once you have a jetpack, this is still useful. Suddenly you don't need to make a giant tower, but you can make, you can point yourself at something a little higher up, and if you're not sure you'd be able to make it otherwise, you can still ascend. So that is the concrete jetpack. You can use it at any stage of the game, though it gets easier as you ascend tech levels, and you can then use it to make stupid structures like this. Should a pipeline go across a mountain and then back down the other side? Probably not. But it certainly can do that. And why not? The other thing that's important to remember about the concrete jetpack is it can be used to descend. So unlike, and this is in fact one of the key advantages of it over a dirt pole in Minecraft, you can use the concrete jetpack to get down safely. So you can very easily just build up a platform of foundations. I'm building this too wide because why not? And then rather than, breaking your legs, you can cushion your fall with concrete, as is only sensible. And you just deconstruct to slowly move down. So it can be used to descend even when you don't already have a pole in place, because you're basically trying to pick a spot close enough that you can place a foundation, but close enough to something that when you remove the last piece, you're still falling a safe distance. And here we can do the same trick once more. So I can basically go, oh, that looks about safe. So let's just build up and then build down. And if you haven't kept track of how much concrete you've got on you and you're not sure about how far you're going to fall this time, you just repeat the same trick and you'll find that you can often place foundation partway up a hill. And so, like so. And then you can just build up. And in fact, if you do deliberately turn it yourself and you've got the materials, you can skip some of the steps. And sometimes you'll accidentally build double wide because the game makes it very easy to do so. But still, we got there. Now we can remove and clean up after ourselves, and we don't need to leave a big ugly pile behind. Just make sure you're removing the platforms you intend to remove, because it can be surprisingly easy to not do that. Still, we're going to make our way down reasonably safely. And we can actually take a look around. And here, of course, because we had those turns, we could look for them. And here we go. We're going to drop down. We can, in fact, already drop down to the ground. And we have returned. And you can use that, of course, to get anywhere you want. That's it for today. I'll see you next time.